All right, so Paul, we went to Juno Beach. What stuck out to you about that experience?
Oh, well, I didn't really know what Canada really did in World War II, so seeing what they did in Juno Beach and taking over the German forces was really cool to me.
And what did you learn there?
Um, I learned that like well after World War One we weren't really like a colony of Britain, but like now like we had like established ourselves as like a military because like before we were well I guess before we were still kind of how do I explain it? Like we weren't really Britain's army before, but like this time we had like our own beach. Like we
Yeah.
had like our own like responsibility. Like people actually like they actually trusted us
Yeah.
to do our own part in the war and not just like stay with the Brits. So I thought that was pretty good, and pretty significant.
Almost, it's good to remember all the soldiers that sacrificed themselves there, and I found it like really kind of touching and how like there was an actual battle there, and now it just looks like a common beach, but before it was a war zone, and I found it was just really good to just remember like specifically the Canadians, because they're the ones that pushed the farthest on that, and that was kind of like the end of the World War II. Like that was like the beginning of the end.
So you did your project on Juno Beach. Was there anything that surprised you or stuck with you?
One thing that kind of surprised me was that I found that like I actually found out the Canadians pushed the furthest. I didn't know that to begin with. I just knew that the Canadians were there.
All right, so Ollie, we went to the Con Memorial. What struck you about that exhibit?
I found the Rise of Hitler exhibit pretty fascinating
And why was that?
because it kind of showed the downward spiral of the when you first go in, and how the lighting got darker and darker. It kind of showed how Germany, it was kind of symbolism and showed how Germany kind of went into a downward spiral as Hitler started taking over and Germany into the pretty dark time.
All right, so Will, we've seen a lot of grave sites on our trip. What struck you about them?
It was just the amount of graves that were there, mostly Canadian for the Canadian sites, and it was really impactful for me just to see like how many graves were there and how many families lost all their sons or brothers or yeah.
Okay. And when you were walking through them, what were you thinking about?
I was thinking about just the extent of loss. Just it was really depressing just walking through.
All right, Dave, so we've seen a bunch of World War II sites in Normandy. What stood out to you about those?
I think, like, especially at Juno Beach, what really stood out to me is, like, kind of how big the whole thing was and kind of how it didn't really just affect the people of the war and, like, the coastline of Juno Beach. It really affected, like, all the families that were involved and, like, the families of the soldiers and the people who just lived in the town of Dieppe. And I think it was really important, or I found it really important, and like one big thing I took away from like going to like Juno Beach and reading all the family stories who were like affected inside of the museum is like how important it is to kind of always keep that in the back of our minds, and like when in regards to like moving forward in our future history, or I guess just our future, how important it is to like understand when things are kind of taking a negative spin, like really preventing future war and conflict between countries and people, because like seeing how it affected families and like at the Holocaust Memorial how it was really horrible, it made people's lives, I don't think it's something that's needed in like with people in the future. I think things can be settled in more peaceful ways.